this and anything else you have to say to us. We've been talking about doing a live video with Culture Shock for a long time now, and wanted to do like a record video, and we're finally making it happen. So we've been talking a long time. Obviously, if you know our store, we are Culture Shock clothing, gifts, and records, and we're huge music lovers, and we've hosted lots of live bands in our store and carry a big selection of vinyl. So we kind of want to dig into a little more of that and talk a little deeper about some of those things. We're just, as you can see, we're huge music lovers, music geeks, connoisseurs of all that sort, and we just really love supporting the local scene and want to give you a reason to have some more things to talk about and get into, and just kind of have fun with us looking at some different things we have going on here. So we're doing a Facebook Live and Instagram Live. So yeah, it's the first one. Here we go. So you ready to go? Yeah?
Say, can you hear us?
Yeah, and just let us know. Make sure, we want to make sure you can hear me okay. So tell us if we need to get the cameras in closer, or if you need to talk a little louder. So, all right, we both good? Yes? Which one's Instagram, which one's Facebook?
This is Instagram.
Instagram, Facebook, okay. I'll give you both a little bit of play here. So, all right, we're gonna get started then. So again, I'm Skylar from Culture Shock Clothing and Records in Rockford, Illinois, and welcome to our very first Vinyl Happy Hour video. The reason we're doing this is because there are a massive amount of different record labels and different artists who have new releases coming out every Friday, and for a record collector, it can be very overwhelming when record shopping. So what we want to do is, be able to give you a little more info, and every Thursday, have a drink with us as we talk about at least 5 different featured records, so you can feel a little more confident and educated when record shopping and digging through things. A lot of new releases come out every Friday that often go overlooked, so we want to make sure that you can get into that, and again, just keep dropping any comments you have here as we kind of go along. So tonight we're going to feature 5 records again. Like I said, I have 2 new releases from Culture Shock, 2 older artists, and 1 Holy Grail record, and we're also going to be having some bourbon. Tonight I have a bottle of Woodford Reserve. Lauren and I went down to Kentucky and actually hit the bourbon trail a couple years ago, and I really found the taste of this. Was one of the first bourbons that I actually found that I really enjoyed the taste of. Just kind of let it wash over your tongue and mouth. It's a very smooth taste. It's a straight bourbon whiskey from Kentucky. I love that their small batch process. It even has the name of the distiller, which bottle number this is from the batch. It's so nice just to drink it neat, just plain in a glass, no ice, no mixing it, just a smooth flavor. So that's the bourbon that I'm enjoying tonight here for our Vinyl Happy Hour. And the first record we want to feature here is a brand new release from an older artist. This is Mazzy Star, Still. Hopefully you can see that, as a lot of records have some glare. This is a group from the 90s. This is only their second release since the 90s, actually. Mazzy Star has kind of a dream pop sound, a very mellow, very chill sound with female vocals. It's great background music. I kind of consider them to be dream pop. There's even a little bit of folk and psych mixed in. Not enough distortion or something to maybe be shoegaze, but a lot of bands take influence from them, but they've still maintained their own sound throughout the years. They're just as a duo on this. Their drummer just passed away, I think, a year ago. So it's the first time doing it as a duo, so there is more piano and more mellow, even than their older albums. This is just an EP, but it's so cool that they're still putting out albums. So we're going to be featuring a lot of artists that you may not even know about or know little about. Obviously, we're a full record store. We love our classics. We have tons of, anything from Metallica and Black Sabbath to Pusha T and Run the Jewels and Taylor Swift even. So a lot of those well-known artists, of course, we have in our store, but we want to make sure to feature some of the stuff you might not know as much about that's coming out every Friday. My next one is a brand new release from the band Ghost. As you might be familiar with them, if you're not, they're very demonic, dark-looking album covers, and the way they dress might make you think they're a very, brutal heavy metal band or something. They are a metal band because their subjects are very dark, but what's interesting is they're so polished and melodic, almost like arena rock or radio rock. They have even won a Grammy. But what's cool about this is a lot of artists are doing special releases with all sorts of goodies and bonuses on vinyl. So as we open up the package, this is the limited clear with black smoke vinyl. So let's get to the LP first. Inner sleeve with some cool artwork. And even cooler, it's the clear and smoke colored vinyl. So it's got like black smoke in the vinyl on clear vinyl. This is a limited edition version. And there's more. There is a 45, a bonus 45 with it, in a picture sleeve on clear vinyl, and a poster. The funny thing about this band is they play completely in costume. Papa, the main singer, is like an evil pope of sorts, and the other members of the band all play in costume and are always in costume, so there's lots of rumors about who's in the band or if they're in other famous bands. So cool that it comes with a poster as well. A lot of bands are doing these indie release things too, where you get special limited versions with bonus tracks or color vinyl that you can only get from your independent record store. So check out Ghost, that's their new one. Prequelle is the name of it. I think the topics are dealing with the plague and a lot of like ancient things and dark things, so a really cool thing. So those are our two brand new releases. This next one is also a brand new release, but it's actually an album from the 90s. This is Blind Melon's Nico album. I've never seen it before on vinyl. I assumed it was really rare, and I just found out today I've never seen it because it was never released on vinyl. It only came out on CD. So 1996 Nico album. There's all the guys. A really great band from the 90s that left us far too soon. The singer died in 96 actually. This has a ripped away version, they call it a different version of the song No Rain, which I'm sure you probably remember the girl dancing in the bee outfit and stuff. That was their first album. This was their third and final album. If you haven't heard Blind Melon or don't remember them, they're grunge in a different way with really high vocals, lots of cool drumming and hand drumming, and even a lot of guitar solos. They're more grunge in the way like Jane's Addiction might be grunge, not like Soundgarden or Nirvana, although they definitely fall into that a little bit. This was called Nico because of the singer's daughter. The proceeds from this went to benefit her college fund. So we wanted to make sure the band kept it going. The other cool thing about a lot of new releases every week is it's not just new releases from new artists, but sometimes reissues of albums that are either out of print or were never made on vinyl or are just rare. So you will find a lot of reissues of older bands. So that's the Blind Melon release, and that's from Anolog Sparks Records. They do really high quality pressings. They use all original analog tapes, so it's not a digital transfer just put onto vinyl. They actually use the real master recordings. They've done Dave Matthews and Ben Folds 5, a lot of other great bands. So these records are all available from Culture Shock. These are in our Friday releases, which come out tomorrow. The cool thing about doing these on Thursdays is we get usually our records in a day or two before the official release date, so we get to check them out and listen to them or get a better look at them. The next one is from our used section, our rarity section at Culture Shock. Joy Division is this album. Closer, this is one of my favorite albums. So a lot of these are my personal picks or just records that I'm very enthusiastic about. Joy Division is one of the most eminent post-punk bands. Some even gothic rock even bands take a lot of influence from them. Again, they also left us very soon. The singer died. After this album, they went on to be the band New Order, which everyone probably knows, Blue Monday and lots of other hits from them. The artwork is very dark, black and white. It's a picture from a tomb in Italy or something like that. And, it kind of has a really cool imagery, very minimal imagery. This is one of the first bands to kind of go from the new wave sound to a darker wave sound. And it's the first pressing. It's pretty rare. It came out in 1980. This is the U.S. pressing from 1981, the first press in the U.S. I'm going to see if we can show this off. It is actually, it looks like a black record. It's the original factory records, but I'm going to see if this can show. It's actually translucent green vinyl. So I'm going to see if I can show this without melting a record. Can you see that? See the candle through it? So if we had the light in here, we could see actually through it. It's pretty cool to find an original pressing that was on that clear vinyl. There's only, I think, 5,000 made, which in those days was not very many when people were all buying records. So that's the kind of cool thing that you can find on older records or even interesting records that just keeps you digging and digging. Of course, they went on to influence lots of bands like The Cure, Echo and the Bunnymen, things like that. So that is our fourth record and from the U section of Culture Shock. So if you have any comments, please keep them coming. Lauren's up here manning the cameras and doing some behind-the-scenes stuff. I'm sure everyone at home, if they have that Joy Division record, they're probably holding it up to the light right now or shining their iPhone through it to see if it's see-through because you really can't tell. It looks like a black record. So that's a cool little-known fact on some of those records. Let's have some more. Oh, I forgot, dude. Ghost also has the album out on cassette. How cool that a lot of bands are putting out cassettes again now, too. We also just got in some from Paramore and a bunch of other bands and Prince. But some new bands, New Beach House is also on cassette. So don't forget to check out your cassettes if you have a boombox or cassette player in your car. My final album tonight from our featured 5 for Vinyl Happy Hour is considered a holy grail, a really odd record. A lot of people have opinions on it, and some people just don't know what the hell it is, but this is Trout Mask Replica by Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band. One big giveaway about it is probably, if anyone knows the Straight record label, that's Frank Zappa's record label, and he produced this album. So if you're into Frank Zappa or know his music, a lot of influence and a lot of way this album was made is because of Frank Zappa. Actually, Captain Beefheart himself, who is Fred Van Vliet or whatever his name is, was a schoolmate with Frank Zappa. They knew each other for years, and he wanted to make this album. And he and all the musicians on the band played so many different instruments, and they actually played things at different timing and just things that didn't even seem like they went together. So it's a really obscure, strange album. You can call it artistic, you can call it noisy. I would consider it kind of a weird, swampy, bluesy, avant-garde record. Yeah, it's a strange one. It's pretty rare and pricey if you do find it. We've had them in Culture Shock before, not in a while. They do show up every now and then, but it's just such a strange album. I just saw, I think on Amazon Prime or somebody, there's an orchestra who studied the music and learned how to play it all, even though it's not structured like normal music, just so they could play the whole album or something like that. So I can't wait. There's a whole documentary about this album. So that's Captain Beefheart on the Straight record label. Check it out sometime. It's so interesting. We like to feature kind of some of those avant-garde artists and some of the things that aren't on the usual record list, you know, or your top 40 record list. So yeah, that was our Vinyl Happy Hour for now. So I want to let you know that you can find us at Culture Shock. We're 2239 Charles Street in Rockford, Illinois. We're open 7 days a week. We're, you know, avid fans of music. We get new releases and used records in every week. Please, you know, even if you're not watching live now, drop off any comments or questions with us too. Lauren's back here helping out with the video, so thank you for her to help me get this started actually. I also wanted to let you know that we're doing these videos every Thursday night. So if you have any comments on those, let us know and be sure to tune in for that. And I think that's it. Lauren, anything else to add? So yeah, thank you so much again for watching our first Vinyl Happy Hour. I'm Skylar over at Culture Shock, and I'll be seeing you soon. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.